I just drink wine.
Oh yeah, Kathy Bates and I are super tight, and we had a heart-to-heart for like a good half an hour while my ex-boyfriend stood there and was like, "What the fuck are you doing? Why are you talking to Kathy Bates?" I'm like, "I'm not talking to you." And I almost was like, "I'm sorry, Kathy, I had to go say hi to him." And I'm like, "What the fuck? No, talk to Kathy Bates for as long as Kathy Bates wants to talk to you. You talk to Kathy Bates." That's pretty great. And then we follow each other on Twitter.
What?
Oh, so LA.
Welcome to the wine situation. Yay! High five. We're so proud of ourselves. We didn't mean to.
We synchronized that, you guys. That was not planned. That was just Ellen and me.
Feeling the joy.
Vibing a spirit. Vibing the spirit.
Whining the wines.
Whining about wine. Okay, we know the show.
We know the show. This is the wine situation where we take people's wines with H's and we pair them with wines without H's.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes we discover new wines and we talk more about other wines. And it's just it all becomes this lovely soup of wine and wine.
Ooh, yeah, I like that.
Yeah, wine soup.
Wine soup. Whining about wines and wine and wine and why
That's
not?
our YouTube show is Wine Soup.
Wine soup.
It's like talk or the soup. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Exactly. But with wines.
No, we're not doing that.
And I'm qualified to do this because...
No, just say it. Just get into it.
Well, when I was 8 years old, I was given Encyclopedia Britannica.
And you looked up the word wine?
It was just the letter W. So that's all the information I know.
As we all know, I'm qualified to do this because the Dark Lord Trent Reznor
Exactly.
taught my goth soul everything I could want to know about red wine, though. I had to study the white and the pink because that's just not...
That's not goth.
Right. Actually, but what I discovered in my studies was that pink is the gothiest color of all.
Why is that?
Because it's like, fuck you, I'll wear pink. I don't have to be goth.
Oh, because it's the most like rebellious.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
You're so rebellious.
Me and my Urban Outfitter boots here. I'm the biggest rebel.
Your manic panic hair.
Yeah.
But
actually,
you know.
Yeah. Sean helped open Bar Covell. He worked for Greg Condes. What else can I say? Oh, he's the wine whisperer.
Wine whisperer. I channel things.
He goes into your soul, digs what you want to drink out of it.
I take a delicate hand and I place it on your soul.
Yes.
And your soul tells me.
Your soul vibrates the right answer back at him.
And Ellen, read real books about wine, not just Wikipedia pages.
Yeah. Yeah, I read some books. I took some notes. I took some tests.
And then out came Ellen's brain.
Yes.
That's what
I
happened.
didn't have one until I started drinking a lot of wine.
She put those in and then out popped Ellen.
Bing.
Bing. Well, we have a lovely guest sitting here who's been so quiet and so sweet.
Aww. And she's giggling like...
She's already giggling. She's
lean
gonna do
in
it.
with the giggles.
Lean in with the giggles.
But you forget, I'm used to being behind a camera, so I can't laugh loudly. I've been trained to be
Just
silent.
muffled to laugh.
Exactly.
She's a best friend. She's a family member. She's award-winning casting director.
Geralyn Flood.
Geralyn Flood, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome.
The one, the only. Welcome to the show.
We're
and
excited to have you. And she's got Shelby on her lap right now, and
And I'm so happy.
They're both so happy. They're super close. They're super tight.
Well, we have to ruin all this happiness by talking about your wine.
I know.
Well, I think Shelby will help me stay chill about this because Sean has heard me complain. So when he was like, I'm making this podcast, I was like, I know what I want to talk about.
Yeah.
She had it locked in the
And he was
in
like,
the chamber.
okay, all right. Give me a minute. Let me, get this organized.
And also, hopefully, the liquid wine will help keep you chill as well.
Yeah, hopefully.
Liquid wine.
So tell us, what are you ready? What are you?
Okay, so I was trying to narrow it down with Sean earlier today.
Believe it or not, pretty much every guest is like, I can't narrow. I have too much I want to whine about. So
I have a few prongs. Overall, it's social etiquette as it relates to personal space, in particular, malls, out in the world, and then the Silver Lake Reservoir, very specifically.
Oh, shit. Speak of the devil. Am I a terrible person walking around the reservoir doing things I'm not aware of? Because I'm
No.
around there a lot.
My whole thing is ooh, that sounded lovely.
Oh, I got to get that free Foley.
Kevin will be proud. So I grew up in New York City. You have to dodge a bajillion people to get through your day. And most people do it seamlessly. Thank you, Sean. But I don't know what it is in LA. I don't know, or maybe I'm just getting older and getting more annoyed faster. But it's the stopping at the top of an escalator when you're at the mall or anywhere. Stopping in the middle. You're walking in the mall. Again, I bring my example.
Like phones contribute a lot to that.
That's exactly what I was going to say. So you're stopping to read some text that you just got, and it's like, I get it. You're working. We're all working. We got stuff to do. Step to the side and answer. And I was just at a mall today with my friend Bly. Shout out to Bly. And the same stuff. And she was complaining about it. I was like, I'm not crazy. But then she's also crazy like me, so we get each other. But it just makes me nuts. And the lack of awareness is making me nuts. And then in particular, walking around the Silver Lake Reservoir. Most of the time I walk around with friends, with my friend Bly.
First of all, I love how you say reservoir.
Reservoir.
Well, how am I supposed
Reservoir.
To? Oh.
But I like the French. No, I'm loving it. I'm loving the reservoir.
Get into the reservoir. I like it.
That makes it like, it's so exotic.
You haven't been to the Silver Lake Reservoir?
Silver Lake, the reservoir.
Le reservoir. I believe it's on Boulevard.
Exactly. It's very odd.
But so we'll be walking right next to each other, chatting away happily. But when you see two people walking towards you, you turn single file. They go single file. You stop for a sec. You continue on your way. I cannot tell you how many people don't do that when they're walking around the reservoir.
Or what about the people that let
Reservoir.
their dogs trip you with their leashes because they're walking and they're like letting it
there is
cross
that.
the entire path? That too.
That is annoying. I get it that sometimes that happens, like the dog's super chill and you're not thinking about it, and then they freak out and you get blocked. So but it's also a responsibility for you to be aware.
Yeah.
Which is what I'm saying, like the lack of awareness and social etiquette. We all drive here. We all look around.
Well, people are distracted too while they're driving. Like that's another thing.
God.
When people are like
Again,
looking
phones.
for parking, and you're like, "What are we doing here, guys?" Or you're in the middle of the street.
Yeah, it just makes me to the point where my husband is Sean's brother, Kevin, and he is 6'2", big, strapping, handsome, like football player shoulders guy. And because I grew up in New York City, I just dodge through people, and it makes
and weaves. She bobs and weaves.
I totally do. And it makes him crazy because he's like, I'll see you in 10 minutes because these shoulders don't move like yours. But it's just like, I can't take it.
He's like, don't forget about me.
I was like, I'll find you on the corner, bye. I gotta go.
Get through the crowd.
Well, on that note, we're going to do cheers, guys.
Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers.
From afar. We did it.
Cheers, Zig. Zig's having some wine.
Zig's got a little wine in his glass.
That's right. Keeping it real. Oh, wow.
Oh, hey, I like this.
Wow.
This one has a lot going on.
I was just going to say, much like my rant.
Yeah, much like the rant, there's a lot going on.
It's complex and many pronged.
Yeah.
Do you want to kick it off, Ellen? You pick this one out.
My thought was that we should get you a wine from an island because people who are out in public and act like there's nothing around them, it's like they think they're an island.
Mm-hmm.
So
I love it.
we went and we found a wine from Sardinia. This is Dittori Bierko 2015 and not only is it from an island, a singular island, it is from a singular vineyard in the island, Bade Nigolosu. But the cool thing is that unlike those people that think they're islands, this winery actually, they're trying to get back to the earth and they try and cooperate with the earth around them. They rely on gravity. They work together with the world around them. So if all these people that are islands out there could just behave like this wine.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm going to weep. That's so beautiful.
It's so beautiful. So it's like, it's all
place.
organic. They're biodynamic. They're like.
Thank you, Lou. Lou Wines.
Yeah,
for
Lou
helping
Wines
us.
for this one.
I saw,
for sure.
I saw this is amazing.
But it's very minimal winemaking.
Yeah, super minimal.
So they basically pick the grapes and they put them in a vat and they don't touch them. They barely crush them. They kind of undergo carbonic maceration where they start to ferment in the skin like that.
Super sexy when you talk like that, Shaughn. Just saying.
Carbonic maceration.
They don't even crush the grapes burst with all their juicy goodness. And
Ellen's a little more poetic about it.
Well, you know what I like?
I was trying to emulate.
No, yeah.
What I like about the podcast, which I was just listening to today because I was panicking. I was listening to the most recent one. I'm going to fail the test. I've decided
No, you
already.
actually might then because we snuck a question in there that we're like, if she was listening to previous podcasts.
My go-to answer is now Loire. It's Loire Valley. That's it. That's just I'm going with Loire.
Just
if I don't
go to
know,
Loire.
yeah,
it's not Merlot. That's not your
that's
answer.
another one. That would be that was my second choice. And then there was a DOC was mentioned a lot recently, so maybe that will sneak in. But that's French.
We'll see.
Yeah.
No, that's Italian.
Italian.
Yes.
But this wine technically would be covered by DOC and DOCG because it's Italian adjacent.
Right.
But this winery is so punk rock. They're like, we don't want to play by your rules.
They went
I love
IGT.
They went IGT.
IGP is you can just call it IGT or IGP. They chose the P because they're that rebellious.
They're that rebellious. They don't give any fucks.
Now, is this an orange wine? Would be
this
because
is an
of the
orange
color?
wine. Yeah. You can tell it's an
solely
orange
because
wine.
of the color.
I
or
mean,
is
technically they call it a Bianco, but it had so much skin contact that it's basically an orange wine.
And what makes an orange orange wine and orange wine.
Skin contact is a big one, sitting on the skins for a long time. Also, orange wines can be made by oak, also by amphora, like clay pots that they age it in. That will make it an orange wine too.
That makes sense, yeah.
These were in cement vats, I believe.
Yeah, these are 100% cement.
How cool. You know what? It's so fascinating to be on the other side of this because I've literally listened to these from the start. So to see all your notes, and I was like, how did they come up with this? You're so seamless. Guys, they really do their research. I'm just saying.
We take notes.
Yeah.
Notes, write stuff down. We meet.
It's like, I know. I love it. When I was talking with Blythe today, I told her I was doing the podcast, and I was like, I just can't call Shaughn any of our nicknames. It's going to be really hard.
Oh, but we've had guests call him
Poppet.
Poppet.
Yeah.
Shawnee. I've gotten a Shawnee, I think.
Yeah. I was like, I can't call him Shawnee.
Just call P.
Yeah, just P.
Just P. Well, that was I forgot I left at that part of the intro. I was going to call you, Schmoopy. Bringing it back. Well, I met Geralyn when I was in college because she used to work at Cal Arts. So I've known Geralyn for a very long time. Before, her and my brother met at the same time. Yeah, so
You're
it goes
kind of
way back.
not blamed to thank for meeting your husband.
Yes. Yes. And no.
Yeah,
Yes and no?
I guess for really you guys actually getting.
Well, you said you should call Geralyn. She works in the admissions
Right.
at Cal Arts. Kevin's boss's daughter wanted to go to Cal Arts, and so they wanted to do some informational stuff. And Shaughn knew I worked in admissions there. Then we became fast friends right when you were graduating.
Yeah,
It's really
you
when
and
the
I
magic
did.
happened.
And like one of the second or third times that we were hanging out, my brother called me while we were hanging out, and she's like, "Oh, I want to talk to him." And then
No, he wanted to talk to me.
he wanted to
That
talk
was
to
the
you.
thing. He remembered me. So he called the school and said, Shaughn Buckholz told me to talk to you. And I didn't know Shawn's last name at the time. I just knew Shaughn. And I was like, okay, I don't know who that is. Moving on. And he said, my boss's daughter, blah, blah, blah. And I flirt. It's what I do. It's fun. It's harmless.
It's like I give good phone. Man.
Exactly. I don't, it doesn't hurt anybody.
She spends her day on the phone.
I do, so you might as well have fun while you're doing it. I thought nothing of it. Flash forward 4 months, Shaughn and I are hanging out today.
There goes one.
Shawnee, how long do I have to be your friend to start calling you Shawn?
10 years.
Okay.
You have
Working on it.
You have to be married to one of his brothers.
Oh.
They're both taken. So
Oh,
That's okay.
Shelby's single.
Shelby.
she's right here. So we were hanging out, and Shaughn said, I'm with my friend Geralyn. And then he said, Kevin wants to talk to you. And I got on the phone with him. I was like, hello. He's like, where's the love? Where's the magic? I thought we had something. And I was like, what? And he reminded me about the call, and And then I said, wow, you're really funny. You should call me. And the rest is history.
The rest is history. Then he came down to visit, and then
Yeah. 14 or 15, I don't know, however many years later.
Yeah, a long time.
Yeah.
Now here we are.
Now
back.
here we are talking about wine.
Talking
and
about
my
wine.
wines. I feel better actually now that I've gotten it off my chest because I was
Yeah.
keeping it inside all day, getting ready. So I feel really good
It's really
now.
frustrating, and I think people just are so checked out and clueless sometimes, and especially when you live in a city too, and like you should be more aware of your surroundings. Maybe like people go the other way; they go like so in and completely oblivious.
People do stuff like litter and like things like.
I know when there's a
There's
garbage
so many
can
things-
2 feet
Right.
away from where
People
they're
have
throwing.
no acknowledgement that the space they're in is public space that is for other people as well as them. And
You'll appreciate this one, and people like it overflows into their kids too,
right.
Oh boy.
and the kids running around, and just like you're in a restaurant, and you're like,
Working at a restaurant, the number of people who let their kids come in and just throw things everywhere, like it's.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I bet. I was at an airport yesterday, and this guy did this like crazy almost fall because this little girl was standing in like running around and stopped suddenly in front of him, and he was walking with purpose. And so rather than to kick the child,
Yeah,
he like
just
had to
like-
like jump over
Yeah.
her and almost fell himself. And the guy turned to this woman he said, "Is she with you?" And she went, yeah.
It's like
didn't go, oh
control
gosh,
your
I'm sorry.
child.
Or like, I get it. They get away from you, but an
Yeah.
apology for like, gosh, I'm sorry. Are you okay? Like you're saying that we're human and we're,
acknowledging
Yeah.
other people are like dealing
Yeah.
with stuff too, and going through this
Yeah.
life as well.
and it's my sister Peggy and I were driving once, and she kind of went in the wrong direction and like to make a left turn into someplace, and this guy started yelling at her in the car, and she just went, I'm sorry. And I could see his face just relax, and he went, okay, go ahead. And I thought, right, that's all
true.
you have to do.
Yeah, because people take the aggressive back. They're like, no,
Yes.
fuck you, man. No, I'm going to get in your face. Yeah,
It's just
true.
I think, you like we said, the phones, and I mean, I love my phone. I'm on my phone all the time. I can't,
Love my phone. Phone, I love you.
Yeah, I'll do.
I love you so. But it makes me crazy, the lack of awareness. And particularly with, you see it with kids in restaurants too, where they're on their phone.
The crossing the street slowly while texting.
Oh, boy.
I thought I heard, forget if it was New York, they were going to make it illegal to text while crossing the street, if you're on a crosswalk, just 'cause,
It should be.
But how do you
Yeah, the same way you catch someone texting in a car, I guess. When they're driving.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have to watch that, though, because sometimes it's just so tempting. You're going, you're like, oh, I can't wait till I'm sitting down to look at this, and I'm going to nearly walk into this pole. And
Totally. We've all done it.
Yeah.
We've all done it. I'm not saying, I've done it. I've been the, oblivious for whatever. But
we try.
But it's not just everybody has one oblivious moment a day. This is an epidemic, it feels like.
People are so comfortable and relaxed when they go out now. And that going out isn't a thing anymore where you're dressed up and you're aware you're wearing your pajamas at the airport. Or people fall asleep at the bar sometimes. I'm like, you can't. I'm like, you can't sleep here, or
Stop it. They've fallen asleep at the bar.
People are just oh, my friends are talking and I want to talk.
Oh my God.
You can't just sleep here. I know, I'm glad you're comfortable, but no, you have to leave. And I'm glad you feel comfortable enough to want to sleep here, but it's not really the appropriate place to do that.
Do you feel like it's just that everybody has this feeling of privilege now with the internet and being able to, tweet your movie stars that you love or do all this stuff that you can be whatever, I can do what I want. I can give you a bad Yelp review if you don't, do you think it's that or?
No, I think it's more symptomatic of people being lazy. And I think that lazy kind of Slavenness of I don't care, everything sucks, kind of carries over to how they live their life and how they kind of behave in public.
Maybe a little bit of just not living in the now. I don't know. Feel these days you're always 5 steps ahead, or you're always in 3 different realities. There's the reality on your laptop. There's the reality you're in. There's the reality coming through your phone, and people are in all of them at once. So you can't give your full attention to one thing. Maybe.
Well, it's funny. Yeah, I was talking about that with a friend of mine who's another actor as well, and I was we were talking about another friend of ours, and we were saying we've spent the past 15 years becoming very present and working on being present, and this other person has spent the last years diversifying and getting really lots of different things going on, so they're distracted all the time.
Yeah.
Right.
So if you spend a lot of time becoming present, I know you just started meditating as well.
I did.
We have 3 meditators here.
Yeah.
I mean, just as an
good stuff.
example, it's a daily practice, but you do it for 10, 15 years, it changes how you perceive the world and how you interact with people. And if you spend your time, take care of lots of different things and put out fires all the time, you're never going to be present. And when you try to put those 2 people together, it's kind of huh? It's
But I guess how do you stay present then in this day and age? How do you?
I mean, you can't all the time.
No, of course, but I mean, you couldn't back in the day. People. That's why I work in TV, and that's why there are multicam shows that are on for forever because people want a little tune out. I get that, and they're great. They're awesome. I grew up on them. I work on them. I'm happy to do it. Who taught a person that it was appropriate to fall asleep in a bar?
Yeah,
that
or
is
put their feet up and fall asleep in a bar in public.
that's amazing.
Exactly. No one taught them that. Someone just didn't say you shouldn't do that.
Yeah,
Right, but you hope that there's a sibling, a parent around going, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Or a friend going, wake up, that's rude. I think if you did something like that, or if I did something like that, you would call me on it and vice versa.
Yeah.
That was really kind of rude and I would be mortified. And yeah, I mean, I get putting kids in pajamas when they're traveling, when you're doing an overnight red eye, I get that. Whatever works to keep the kid comfortable and, to let them sleep, cool.
Yeah.
But as an adult, that's what I was talking about with when I was just in Utah for the weekend, and
How did it go?
it went well.
Yeah.
Yeah. 4 hours Friday night. Well, full class. 4 hours Friday
You were
night, 4 hours
teaching?
Saturday. I was teaching an acting class. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Was it kids or adults?
2 kids, and the rest were adults. But the kids
wow.
held
Wow.
out. They were
Really?
phenomenal.
Nice.
Wow.
Quiet, attentive, really great, really lovely. But so I was talking with this about the man who runs the classes there, and he was like, "Yeah, you used to dress to get on the plane." We both have that experience because my dad worked for TWA, his grandfather worked for American.
Airline kids.
Yeah.
Airline scrappers.
So maybe that's why I'm also I still kind of try to look a little nice when I fly.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But, come on. You don't have a pair of comfortable pants that aren't pajamas
Yeah.
to wear.
Right.
You can't wear your matching silk pajamas. You're not Hugh Hefner. This isn't the Playboy Mansion.
I partly blame
LAX.
just what you have to go through to fly, though, with security and everything. As someone who gets really anxious when I fly, I'm as much anxiety as I can eliminate, the better. But
Yeah, you're pro neck pillow.
Well, I mean, I don't always wear it.
The look she gave me was like, fuck you.
You don't experience the nightmares I've had about planes. Oh, God.
No, I remember
But I
you
don't
talking
wear my
about your neck.
pajamas. Yeah.
I remember you talking about your neck pillow.
Well,
with
when I
Nate.
first bought it, I didn't realize it had like a thing that I could attach it to my roll-on, so I would just put it around my neck because I was like, I travel alone a lot. I have two
I get
hands
it.
that are full of things, so I was wearing.
Around my neck. I actually really think they're probably great. I've never used one, I don't
I
think.
can't do it.
You can't do it?
No, I just can't carry that. I just can't.
Yeah.
I didn't think I could until I discovered how great it is to use.
To use a neck pillow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're flying to Boston next week, and Kevin.
Traveling so much. Thank God they've been traveling like crazy.
And then we went to New York a couple of weeks ago, and Kevin had the window, and I had the middle seat. We were hoping, Kevin, I had the aisle, and then we were hoping the middle would stay empty so we could, Oh, thank you, more wine. But it ended up being full, and so I was like, well, why don't I get a window seat as well since we didn't talk, and I want to sleep too. And he was
Yeah.
like, okay. He was kind of sad about it, but he also understood. I'm like, yeah, it's cool. I've got the rest of my life with you. Like 5 hours
Not
on a plane
sitting next to each other.
We're good. He
That's
got
like
that.
real love. That's like real marriage right there. Like, no, it's fine. I get it. I don't need any sort of like reassurance. Like 24 hours a day. I get it. I love you.
Yeah, exactly. You're talking about the wine. I'm watching her work. It's fascinating, guys.
I'm thinking because I in metaphors as I tend to do probably too much about. I don't know. Wine's a good thing in terms of like figuring out how to be in the present. Like, and all the time you spend analyzing wine. It's like very much a thing that can take up like all your senses. You look at it. You look at like this wine's fascinating to look at. It's a little cloudy because they haven't found it, and it's orange. And you think about the skins, and just like it takes up everything you can. I'm like, maybe if more people studied wine, more people would be better at being in the present, because like when you are studying it, you're really just like you're learning to zone in on it and think
it's
about it.
activating all your senses. Kind of exactly what you were just saying.
And also, you can be present with each person because they're like, I taste this, I get that, and
Yeah.
you're like, oh, I didn't now, but now I do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
there's
you're
like
actually looking at people
Yeah.
as you're doing it.
Yeah.
I like the acidity on this. There's like a honey quality
Yes,
to it.
that's-
Like,
yeah.
like honey, hey, honey. Hey, honey.
Hey, dear.
honey.
Yeah, I was totally thinking honey on this, like honey and like almost like something a little like almost like an orange blossom or like kind of some
Oh, yeah,
like
no.
a little floral thing.
Yeah.
There's like
totally.
a blossom to it for sure.
like
See-
apples.
Honeysuckle.
Honeysuckle.
Remember like pulling the honeysuckles off and then
Yes,
like suck them
yes.
on?
them.
I totally did that.
Yeah, totally.
Now, see, this is the thing with Shaughn. I'm so lucky that he's in my family, but it's also a curse because I don't know anything about wine because he just knows what I like so well
She knows a little bit about
that he just buys me stuff and I go, this is delicious. Thank you so much. And then I forget to take a photo of the bottle or anything like that. And I know a little bit.
Right.
Loire Valley.
Loire Valley.
That's it.
Loire Valley, yeah.
But it's hard though to study wine because
Yeah.
everyone's like, I want to study wine.
Part of me, what I enjoy about wine is my ability to, I'm like, not everyone has time or the interest to want to memorize a bunch of stuff. And I absolutely love if people are like, I don't know anything, I feel bad. I'm like, no, don't. That's just, for me, that's like a really joyful thing to be
Yeah.
able to like talk to someone and be like, oh, you're going to like this, or to be able to go out to eat with people and they all are like, Ellen, what do we order? I'm like, for you, this, you, and this. And on a selfish note, I'm like, oh, that makes me feel really good that I could share that.
Right.
Not everyone needs to study it, but if you're able to appreciate it, I think that's the important.
That's
It's
a
like
good way
having
to
the
say it,
gratitude.
Ellen. Cheers to that,
Cheers to
Ellen.
appreciation.
Cheers to appreciation.
Oh, again with the clinks. I'm loving it.
I like the clinks.
I know. The goblets don't lie.
I know. I feel like it's like pulled back the curtain and I get to see the wizard, It's like goblets are beautiful, guys. They're real pretty.
They are, right?
They're not as big as I thought they would be.
Yeah.
Oh.
I feel like I had a guest once. I commented on like, oh, that's a lot of wine. And I'm like, that's not that much wine.
Yeah.
Like, because they're
Like
not.
I said, I actually measured. I think they hold about when you fill them up to that line, it's about 4 ounces, and like a full glass of wine technically is like 5.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So we're not
So-
drunk, guys. We're just high on life.
Yeah, I mean it's a little true. Maybe also the heat that we had in here, or like it's a little better now.
Yeah.
But by the end of the last podcast, it was getting real steamy.
We had an extra person in here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
that was
that'll
it.
add.
That'll add to it.
And then, nervousness. I had that with the class I was teaching. Friday night, it was it was 6 to 10, and it was in this business center.
In
and
Utah?
I think in Utah, and I think the air conditioning caught off at a certain point. So like by the end, we were all just glistening, and
Yeah.
all the actors were so like pumped and nervous to be in the
Nervous
room.
sweat smells
Right.
more than regular.
Yeah,
sweat.
it
Yeah,
does. It really
so
does,
it was like, oh guys, it's okay. We're all okay. Like,
Do you get nervous teaching those?
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. I almost didn't want to go on the plane.
Why?
I
It's just, for me, it feels like I don't know what I have to tell them. And I'd have a general plan. And I knew what we were doing. I had a syllabus. I'm not saying, that, but
I think teachers are I'm like, as much performing as I do, I would find teaching terrifying.
Yeah, but also like acting, I feel like people are just like, tell me how to win, and they're like, I don't know how to, no one can tell you that.
To teach that.
People, it's not like science. It's not like, tell me how the photosynthesis work.
Were you like focusing more on the business or the?
It was a mix because had been acting for a while and some were brand new, like little 10, 12-year-old girls that were in the class. They were adorable.
Oh, wow.
And then also like I gave them scenes from sitcoms, from comedies. And they don't get that kind of work in Utah. They get feature films, they get 1-hour shows. They were saying the most recent thing was Blood and Oil and that sort of stuff. So for them, it was like, oh, wait, this is a different beast. And so it was actually it ended up being a great class for Friday night because it was all about that. How is this different from this? How is this, talking about working through it. So they got up and did it. And they were all lovely and really did great jobs and were so committed. Everybody was memorized off book completely. Wow. But they were because they're not used to doing sitcoms, they weren't laughing when stuff was funny. So like I was like, like trying to like encourage them, but I'm the only one with this crazy laugh, as I'm running camera, so I'm not used to laughing, as I've said, because
used to being quiet behind the camera.
Yeah, that was the who said it? There was some Craig Bierko. We were auditioning him for a feature, and he did something hilarious. And I was running camera, and I put my hand up to my mouth to cover my mouth, and like turned away to laugh. And when he finished, he said, "Why is she laughing like a geisha?" And Mark Waters, who was in the room, was lovely, and he's like, "Well, she's running the camera, so she needs to not make noise, or it would be distracting." And he's like, "But it was funny, right?" And I was like, "You were great. You're awesome, man. You're awesome."
You're like, that was funny.
Well,
so
the
I have to train.
worst thing, like I feel like about doing comedy is it like trains you to gauge how well you're doing at something by how much you hear people laugh. So then when you are doing drama, you're like, I have no idea how I'm doing. I don't get
you don't get any kind of feedback.
Right.
It's true.
Yeah. All you get is the people in the room with you when you're doing the stuff for a drama. And so if they're like with you and committed, but often the leads are not there and you're reading with a PA or a stand-in and
Exactly. But you shouldn't be nervous when you're teaching. I do get that though. Like you have people be like, just tell me what to do. Tell me how to get it. I can imagine that being nerve-wracking.
Yeah, I do. It's a lot. I feel like a lot of my teaching is like, oh baby, just breathe.
Exactly.
It's okay.
Yeah.
This is a marathon, not a sprint. You'll be all right.
Right.
And what I focus on for me is like, you're an artist, so make your art.
Right.
Yeah.
However you do that.
Right.
Don't focus on I need to get X and then Y and then Z. There's no algorithm for success.
Right.
You need to just do your art. And if that, if you're in Utah, that's doing regional theater, that's doing, they have a lot of LDS do a lot of movies for that community. Do that, do those movies.
You mean Mormons?
Yes. They said LDS the whole time, so that's like dropped into that. Like do all of that. Well, local commercials, whatever. That's gonna help you learn your craft in that way if that's what you do. But then feed your soul doing something else. You know? Yeah, but they were so sweet. And honestly, the people in Utah are truly the nicest people I've ever met.
I've heard that. Yeah, I've heard the super sweet.
Are they not islands ignoring everything around them?
No.
Yeah. Look at that. Bringing it full circle now.
Yeah, they're not, like they are. I think that's also why it felt so good to talk about it because everybody was so nice. We went to like a Red Robin and a Chili's and all of this, for
all you
food.
can eat fries. Did you get the all you can eat fries?
I did not.
Fries.
You gotta
fries? What? Did someone say fries?
I'm like, yeah.
I don't know about
you
this,
gotta get the fucking all you can eat fries. When you get a
I did not, but I forgot. Like I said, oh no, red onions on my salad, please. And then I forgot that they put cheese on their salad as well. And I was like, I don't want cheese on my salad. I know it's.
I know.
And it's not like blue cheese. It's like cheddar.
Yeah.
Shredded cheddar.
Oh yeah.
Just like slabs of American.
Yeah. I don't want that. Thank you.
Craft singles.
But they were like everybody was so sweet. They were just adorable, and I was like I couldn't get over it. I thought that they were robots. That was my instinct. I was like, you're not real. These aren't real. These aren't real people.
Truman
What's going
Show,
on?
Westworld.
Totally.
This is kind of Westworldy though.
Yeah.
I don't think I've been there.
To Utah?
Yeah.
I haven't.
I've known some.
It's a nice thing to get out of LA and be reminded that like not everybody cares about what we do in that way.
I know.
Getting back to St. Louis is so great because I'm like, oh, every billboard. I'm like, oh, people have no idea. Like in LA, you just assume that everyone knows what show and what movie is coming up because we're inundated with just driving down the street. We see it everywhere, and then I go back home to St. Louis, and I'm like, oh, people have no clue about this, and they don't care.
Right.
They don't even care.
What are the billboards in St. Louis mostly? Just all kinds of like whatever.
Restaurants, insurance, car tickets, stuff like that. Yeah, just all sorts of local businesses.
Yeah.
Cars.
Yeah. That is really like, we are inundated with
you do
content.
not see film
TV shows,
billboards
watch
out there.
this, listen to this thing and that thing and that. And it really is just here, though.
Oh,
I mean,
totally.
in New York, too, a little bit. When you're on the subway, you're like, oh, that.
Now, do you guys have the same feeling when, and I know it's social media, all of that stuff, but when your friends are like, oh my God, this show that just dropped tonight is amazing. I just binge watched it and you all have to watch it. And you feel shame that you're not watching it.
I feel no shame.
Really? I do feel shame at first, and then I'm like,
I feel no shame.
No, I feel a little guilty sometimes, or I feel like, oh, I'm out of it, but I'm okay with being out of it.
maybe it's because of what I do that I feel like I need to know everything that's going on, and if I don't, then I'm a terrible person and I'm not a good casting actor. And
For
I'm
what I
ashamed.
do, I should
I'm
know
shamed.
everything.
I'm shamed by it. I mean, I haven't.
Maybe I should be. I probably should be.
Well, I mean, but I think, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's self-inflicted, but I do feel that there are a lot of things I'm like, oh no, I really got to watch that. And I really should watch that.
Like, I know Game of Thrones is coming out again tonight. And
Tonight, I
I've
know.
never gotten into it.
I watched the
I feel
first like
bad
5
about
minutes
that.
and I was like, oh, it's so good. And then I have to go.
It is funny that we do all kind of like prescribe to this cult.
Yeah, we're all like, you must know.
One of us. Watch all the shows. Did you watch Master of None? Did you watch all of it? Did you binge
yes,
it?
exactly.
Yes,
Yeah.
right away.
And my friend gave me shit
within one
about
night.
it. I'm like, I watched the first
But it's
couple.
so good.
And
How can you not watch it?
And
That's my wine that it comes out a little genuinely. I'm like, but it's so good.
Kevin doesn't watch Game of Thrones, so I was watching it in the bedroom, and he came in. He's like, "Oh, Game of Thrones." He's like, "Is the ceviche still alive?"
ceviche.
And I went, "Khaleesi?" Yes. He's like, "Cool." And he turned around and walked out. Ceviche. And it's like, oh, Kevin.
Oh,
He's
the
real cute.
ceviche.
So I'll tell everyone that this is Vermentino in our glasses, which I forgot to mention when I said
I
it's
didn't
just
say
a
Vermentino.
Dottore Bianco. I'm just going to spout some more random wine facts for anyone
spout it.
who cares while they're listening. It's from the Romagna region of Sardinia. Sardinia being south of Italy, somewhere in between Corsica and Sicily. Nice little island.
Yeah.
At one point, they were under Aragon rule, I believe.
Aragon was a jerk.
Aragon was a jerk, but they did bring a certain.
Aragon.
They brought a certain grape that on Sardinia they call Canana. Yeah, fuck. Aragon.
He's named after the gas. Aragon. It's a gas.
It's
Argon.
Argon. It's a gas, guys.
His nephew Radon and
And helium.
Helium. Helium was a bitch.
No, Shelby's up.
Let me tell
She's
you.
up.
Shelby's
she's
very
up.
mad at me for laughing and distracting her nap. I'm sorry, babe.
No, but I mean, for me, just back to like the TV conversation, is that I get a lot of my like news now from comedians, which I think is
Yeah.
hilarious. Yeah,
I
but
do
like, I mean,
mostly.
like it started with Jon Stewart at Daily Show.
Yeah.
Like, I now get my legit news from Bill Maher, Stephen Colbert.
Stephen Colbert, totally.
You don't listen
John
to NPR
Oliver.
in your car all
I do
day
listen to
long?
NPR in my car, but yeah. But it's funny how it is like this weird sort of.
But the nice thing
Switch.
with Stephen Colbert, because I used to listen to NPR all the time. I don't really listen to music. I tend to listen to podcasts, which is why I was obsessing about that. Or I was listening to NPR, but it gets so fucking depressing.
I know.
But so at
Yeah.
least with the comedic twist, like I'm getting the information,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
like John Oliver, who's
Yeah.
so brilliant.
So brilliant.
To go
Love.
so deep with all of that stuff, but at least you're kind of laughing as you cry.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it makes it better.
Well, I hope you can laugh and cry your way through the.
Lightning round! We are so in sync today! Oh, God.
Guys, my ears just exploded.
Okay.
I don't know.
We just had a Powerpuff moment. Total Powerpuff Girls.
You can't like see or breathe through the pink mist in the
The
room.
pink glittered mist. It's
Oh,
like cotton
goodness.
candy in the air.
Yeah.
All right, you ready?
No, but go ahead.
Here we go.
Well, this first question, if you listened close, was it? It
Oh,
was either
boy.
last week
I
or the week
listened.
before.
Did I listen closely?
Did you listen closely?
I don't know.
We brought this
Well, it's
up
on you.
last week.
If you fail, it's on you. That's what I'm saying.
Great,
Take
thanks.
notes all the time. Future guests, take note. You want to take notes on everything we talk about as it pertains to wine, because it might come up.
Great, more shame for me. Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate
Get
it.
out of the way. I'm walking my dog. I run the reservoir.
Hey, look, man.
Reservoir. That's right, guys.
Reservoir.
Reservoir.
And how do I say Ireland too? I say it funny.
Ireland.
I don't say it like that.
Geralyn from Ireland.
Please
and
don't
the
do
rolling
that.
hills of
I hate that.
Ireland.
I hate
It is a
that.
She
beautiful
speaks
thing.
like she's a.
The Ireland, Geralyn.
I hate that so
I
much.
get to do
and
this.
they both
My brother
know
and
it.
I love to do this. We love to talk about Geralyn in Ireland. She really hates.
My-
So question number
Okay,
one.
yeah, please. Thank you.
This grape that's in our glass is the Vermentino. In Liguria, in Italy, there's another name that Vermentino goes by. Do you know what it is?
What is the other name?
Shaughn
I
loves
can hear
to,
my dog whining over there.
Shaughn loves to talk about because he loves a good saline wine.
You
I don't know.
this.
I know
You know
this.
It begins with the...
This is your favorite wine from Liguria.
No, but it's Puglia is the town that I love.
You like Puglia?
They might grow it in Puglia too. I don't know, but...
But this is the grape.
This is the grape. Shaughn loves this wine.
It does start with a P.
He brought it up in our last podcast too.
All right, all right, I fail. I don't
It's
know.
okay.
Poir.
Pagato.
Oh!
Pagato.
Pagato.
And there are two other, on the off chance you happen to know, there's two other places it's grown and two other names it goes by. I honestly didn't know this stuff until real recently because Shaughn kept fucking bringing up Pagato, and I was like, what the fuck is Pagato?
I don't know why I'm obsessed, guys. It's weird.
This
judge
is
me.
a little
Charming.
bit saline, this one, even from Sardinia. So yeah, in the Piedmonte, just north of Liguria, they call this grape Favorita.
Favorita.
Oh, yeah.
You've had Favorita?
Yeah,
It's
I've
also
had
Vermentino.
And in France, they call it Rolle. R-O-L-L-E.
Rolle.
Alan can say it correctly.
Yeah. Sepulveda.
Sepulveda. We have a friend who's
French. And
French.
that's how he says
been here
Sepulveda.
20 years.
Yeah.
Has a
Longer.
fabulous French accent.
We'll never give it up.
And at one point he's like, I was on the Sepulveda. And I was like, oh, you don't go home alone, don't you? Unless you want to with that accent. Sepulveda.
Sepulveda.
He's like, what? I'm like,
Oh,
shush.
hush your face.
Gosh.
All right, next question.
Next
All right.
question,
Oh
Ellen.
yeah. Next question. So as I mentioned, the main red grape they grow in Sardinia is Cananao, which in Spain goes by a very familiar name. You'll hear it.
Rioja, but that's just red.
It's a grape they do use there. They also grow it in France and sounds very similar in France, but not quite the same.
So what is Cananao
What is
outside of
Cananao?
Sardinia? It's a very common grape in other places.
In the southern Rhone.
Guys, nothing.
Nothing.
If you
It's
could
just
see a
like
picture of my
blank.
brain, it would just be a white page.
okay.
I
And
got
it's-
no-
and it's-
okay.
It's a wind-up monkey playing cymbals and just...
Not even that. It is literally like a white page. You know how you guys have all your little notes?
Yeah.
Mine is blank.
Yours is
Blank.
I get nothing. And I'm turning
mean-
pages. I got nothing.
It's okay. It's okay.
Well, that's why they have you, do those tests
That's-
before you get on to like Jeopardy or those things so that you don't, because you could be great at home,
And then
but you're
not-
going to
oh,
choke
yeah.
You're gonna
in the
choke
moment,
in the moment.
which is what I'm doing, guys. I'm totally joking.
Garnish.
Grenache. Or
Or
Grenache.
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 Just Grenache.
Sure.
Cananao is Grenache.
And that's the main red they grow that they're known for in Sardinia. Also, a
Main.
fact I just learned.
Yeah, that's like
Ba-dum-bum.
the main grape there.
The third question I feel like you will know because we just wanted to ask like how well do you know Shaughn since your family? So what is the finest Geyser Peak that Shaughn's money can buy that he likes to drink? What grape does he like to drink of Geyser Peak?
This
The
Sauv
finest
Blanc.
wine.
It's the Sauv Blanc.
Guys,
The Pfizer,
it's a Pizer geek.
Oh, Pfizer geek.
Shaughn, were you taking notes on how many points she gets? Because she gets 5,000
That's right.
points.
You got 5,000 points for that.
We have to like call it back to Pops and Knickers.
I know. That's my
What?
dad. That's my dad and Nicole.
Nicole, his stepmom, was out on a date with somebody else, and she's a
What?
very lightweight, and she had like one
She all
glass
into the Geyser Peak?
of Geyser Peak, and she was like, we're heading to the bathroom, and she's like, to the Somme, I guess, not really, something waiter. She's like, I love the Pizer geek. As she's talking about.
The Pfizer geek is great.
There's nothing more delicious
I-
than a Pizer geek.
Yeah, I think I scored a point with the family because I happened to have it in the house when they were coming to visit
I don't think I've ever tasted. This is
at your all fine supermarket.
I was gonna say like this is a go-to grocery store.
we
wine.
almost
Yeah.
because one of
Or
your
not so fine supermarket.
Yeah, it's more
we
like your
almost
Albertsons.
thought
Yeah.
we should
Holiday.
pick like a fine grocery store wine for you because of your complaint, but we ended up deciding to go with the
I
islands.
appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, we went like real fancy with the loom.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I'm
Those
happy we
stuff.
did because this is exceptional, and I was nervous. They said, "Oh, you might find bits of seeds and skins and stuff in it because
Yeah.
they don't like fine or filtered." I was a little nervous that it might be a little too funky, but this is perfect.
No, this
Yeah.
wine's amazing.
This
It's
is fantastic.
ridiculous.
This may be the best wine.
Ooh, I feel so
On the
honored.
show?
I think it might be.
Better than
The Brunello de Montalcino?
I mean, that wasn't my favorite Brunello. I really loved the Lambrusco we had. I also really loved the Pinot Noir we had from Dragonette.
Oh, that was really good.
That was really good.
But this is my favorite white that
But this is the favorite white.
This is really,
for
really
sure.
good.
This is exceptional.
It's exceptional.
Was it as good as the Guy Fieri wine? Is this
Better.
Yeah, better. Yeah.
Sorry,
The
Guy.
Guy. I mean, he didn't even respond to the tweet, so.
Fuck him.
I know.
Wow.
I know.
Come on.
I know. Come on.
A little
We
like
have
it. Just like
Anything.
it.
Just like be like, cool, man.
We have over 500 Instagram followers. OMG. And,
Do we really?
Yeah. You're like, really? That many?
That's good.
I open a lot of fake accounts to.
Oh, thanks,
yeah,
Joe.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Because the last week I was friending all the Italian wine people. Well, this is like, oh no, there will be another wine in between, but we've had a lot of Italian. For someone
Yeah,
who
we've had
says
a
he
lot of
doesn't like
Italian
Italian wine, we've had a lot of Italian wine that
yeah.
you've been into.
Well, you know, I also studied in Italy, so this is even more.
Florence over there.
I studied in Florence.
Yeah.
Nice. In Tuscany.
I did.
Tuscany.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to answer the last question that you know what it is?
What?
What's bringing you some joy right now? Some gratitude. My cafe gratitude question.
You know, I was thinking about this. Like, I'm gonna tear up because I'm a mush for all my toughness. My life, everything brings me joy. Like I love my husband. I love my brother-in-law. I'm gonna cry.
I'm writing. The amount of love. I'm loving all this.
You know, my nieces. I have a good life. I love what I do. I'm excited for what the fall is going to bring. And yeah, life is good. We have air conditioners in our bedrooms now.
Sweet.
It's very exciting. It's the simple things in life. Yeah.
Yeah. You have a good life.
I do.
I love it.
And I remind myself and Kevin of that on the regular.
And you are present enough to be able to acknowledge it.
Yes.
You're not in your phone looking for the next best thing.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you are when you're like casting. You're like,
Oh,
where's
no,
that?
I'm totally like, why are they working? Meow, 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 meow.
But you're here and able to and meow, 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 meow.
She got the meow meow.
That's the thing in our family that I do all the time. I'm like, meow, 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 meow.
I love
Meow
that.
meow meow meow.
Yeah, it's good because it's sort of.
Do you have a cat?
No, our house is set up in such a way that it's big enough that like Kevin or I can be shouting from one room to him saying something important, and literally all you hear is meow 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 meow. It's like the
That's
adults.
fantastic though.
It's
You
yeah,
need breathing room.
it's like the adults in the peanut and
Yeah.
the
The
peanuts.
Peanuts, yeah. It's like
And-
wah, 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 wah.
But it's like meow meow. So I just
Aw.
when Kevin yells at me, I just go meow meow. Like, and he's
awesome.
Right, sorry, okay.
I'll come in and talk to you. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's like the best apartment. It's an apartment, but it feels like a giant house.
It is. It's pretty great. I
crazy.
know. That's our house
That's why
is great.
Your house is great.
Party
Yeah.
at Geralyn's. We'll
Yeah.
pick the wine.
Totally.
Party at
Our
Ellen.
porch is
We could do a porch,
ridiculous.
I'll bake
porch
pie.
cast.
Oh my God.
Ellen makes
Zig,
pie.
come to my house. Do a porch cast.
Do a porch cast.
Do that.
Porch cast, right?
Zig is in. Zig is
We're,
down.
Totally.
we're taking it on the road.
Yeah.
All the way to Los Feliz.
All the way to We'll take Sunset.
The back right. Yes, we'll take sunset. Call back
Call
last
back.
week.
If you're a fan, you'll get it.
I don't know. We have a few fans by now, I think, or people who enjoy it.
One in the room right now.
One in the room
Hello.
right
Yeah.
now. I mean, as soon as
I
someone
love that you've listened to like,
All of
that,
them.
Like touches my heart. Like
Oh my God, when Carla,
Carla last
Yeah.
week, yeah.
when she was talking about her niece,
Oh my God.
I know.
I was driving and crying, literally.
It was so
and I had to
Amazing.
fuck
out
it
of
all
nowhere.
up
No,
with
you
the-
didn't fuck it up. You were just being.
I was just trying to. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, we're gonna get kicked out of our rooms.
No, we're like just thinking. Like,
I know, but it was so sweet.
It was so
It
sweet.
was, and I'm
Oh.
so happy that she got the heart
know.
transplant. Like it
Yeah,
really
I
felt.
know. I was like, I can't believe it. Was
Well, I know you
happening.
you did the same thing. I went to Ava. That was my
Yeah.
first thought,
Yeah.
like imagining that.
I don't
And
have a young girl child in
Young
my life right now.
You can take Ava. She's real awesome.
Yeah, it was like, hey, what up?
She's like, you can be my aunt. Will you
A
get
young,
me things?
A young girl child.
I don't have a young girl child in my life right now.
And you
you-
call yourself a goth.
I was gonna say, are you?
I have, well, my goth tutees, the young teen girls that I tutor in the dark ways, but they don't have. No.
Okay,
Oh,
we should
goodness.
do a
We
cheers.
should do a
Cheers.
cheers
Zig's
to
like,
the end.
I'm tired. Cheers. Thank you so
cheers.
much for
Cheers.
being
Thank
here.
you. This
I'll
was so much
see
fun.
you in 5 minutes.
I was gonna say. Thank you, Zig. Nice to meet you.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening.
This is our sexy voice edition.
Sexy outro voice.
Actually, a preview of next week where we get extra, our voices get like this.
Ooh, yeah, they get really sexy when you
Yeah.
get to listen to Stan Zimmerman coming up on the show.
Yeah, he's coming up next week. And in the meantime, you ought to like subscribe on the iTunes, write us a little something on the iTunes, unless you want to
Yeah.
say bad things, in which case, fuck off.
If you guys want to mail me a letter, my home address is... Oh my gosh, I almost gave my home address.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. If you guys want to call me, it's 323-6... Oh my, I almost gave up my phone number, Ellen.
If you
Truth
want to email
serum.
me, it's wait, you can the wine situation, wine with an H at gmail.com if you want to email us something.
Or the wine situation at Instagram, and you can send us an Insta message.
Yeah, we have a Facebook page where I give you show notes. So I've been like trying to put the trivia, like the answers to the trivia. So if people are like, wait, what was that random obscure region or whatever? If you're a nerd and want to learn.
Nerds. Okay, nerds. You guys can nerd up in your nerd table.
Nerd up on the
I'll be over here with
Facebook
the
page.
jocks being... No, I'm just trying to have sex with them.
Aren't we all? Aren't we all?
Thanks, Thomas Stocky, for our new awesome logo.
Yes, and thank you to Dr. America Comedy for our song. Thank you to all our wine people. You guys know who you are.
You guys know who you are, and we love you so much.
It's true.
Yeah, and up next we have Stan Zimmerman. I already said that.
Yeah, but I mean, remind them.
I'm going to remind you again next week, Stan.
And if you get this and you're free this weekend, right after we've uploaded this episode, go see Shaughn in a play. Unless it's sold out, it's a theater that opening
thanks.
weekend you were like, oh, I'm not sure, and I went. You guys, he's so good. Shaughn's so
Oh,
good.
thanks, Ellen. You're so sweet.
He
Yeah, we
is.
have one more weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Bootleg theater. Go see some plays.
bootleg.org/theater. And there I am,
There Shaughn is.
doing 2 plays back to back.
Phew.
Thank you so much for
Exhausting.
listening, you guys.
Yes, have an excellent week.
Cheers.
I just drink wine. I don't fuck with IPAs. I just drink wine. I don't fuck with Minute Maids. I just